Hello, my name is Andrina Oliveros. I am currently doing a master's in English as a foreign language at Universidad Central de Venezuela, commonly known as UCV. And today I am going to be talking about morphology and how and all of the implications that it has upon discourse analysis. In today's agenda, we're going to start with basic knowledge on morphology. Then after, we're going to analyze word, vocabulary, and the ability of choice upon written and spoken language. And then finally, we're going to see how discourse and morphology are related. Discourse and its relationship with morphology. Okay, so first let's take a look at what morphology is. According to G 2014, he's quoted by saying, "Words are the basic building blocks of a sentence." Arnoff M. and Foodman K. 2011 say that in linguistics, morphology refers to the mental system involved in word formation or to the branch of linguistics that deals with words, their internal structure, and how they are formed. Analyzing these two concepts, we can understand that morphology is word. And when we say word, we're talking about the unit, as Van Dyke says, the unit within a sentence that put together with other units forms a phrase, a significant or meaningful phrase. So independently, every word that is put together with other words, make up a meaningful text. Now, for linguists, it's important to understand that exist basic words like the base. Let's say, for example, sing. The word sing, it's a verb, okay? But if I add er, singer, then I'm talking about a person. And in morphology, singer is not one word, it's two words, because it's indicating the root or the base, which is the verb sing, but you're adding er, making it a person. So morphology is understanding all of the little parts that make up the word and that together with other words form a meaningful text. A meaningful text. Morphology is word. It's vocabulary that we decide to use according to the context. When speaking, generally, the purpose of using words or vocabulary is going to depend on the feedback, the interaction of conversation that is going on. And when we write, when we're doing written discourse, the choice of words or vocabulary is going to depend on how you want people to perceive the message that you want to get across. Because generally, when writing, the message, it stays within time. You know, people always remember what was written. But when speaking, the vocabulary that we use or the words that we decide to use are because of the interaction at the moment. In fact, here Whitson, H.G., 2004, is quoted by saying, "Language is organized as constructed discourse, by which he, Zilling-Harris, meant how patterns of formal equivalence might be discerned across sentences in stretches of what he calls morpheme sentences in actually occurring texts." So notice that it's very interesting how this author says language is organized as constructed discourse. It's constructed because we have the ability of choosing the words or the vocabulary necessary that will get the message that we want across to other people. Could be for oral purposes, conversation, moment feedback, or it could be in written discourse in which we want our words to be remembered forever. Van Dyke, T., 1997, in the book of Discourse as Structure and Process, exactly on chapter 2, called The Story of Discourse, he begins indicating how discourse began and how it separated from linguist, and he explains morphology in the following way. He says that morphemes and morphology are theoretical units corresponding to word parts as practical units. There's an interesting example taken from the same chapter, and the example is in a sentence that says, "The labels seemed blurred and unreadable." So it's interesting how this author says that to a regular person, I mean anyone, would see and they would count. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 words. But to the eyes of a linguist, there aren't 6 words. There are 11 words. He says that these 11 words show little maps of meaningful units. And why are there 11 words? Well, first of all, the article, that's one word. But then we have labels. Labels, the root or the base word is label, and then the S indicates a plural. So just because of the S, there are two words instead of one. The next, seemed, this is a verb. The main verb would be seem, the root or the base. And the ed ending indicates past. And since it indicates past, again, seemed is two words instead of one, because it's the base, seem, and the past, ed. The same thing happens with blurred. In this case, we've got two words again. And is just one single word, but then readable would be three words because it has a prefix on. It's got the root, which is read, and it's got able, which is a suffix. So in total, there are 11 words. And in morphology, this is exactly what it is. It's taking each word or each vocabulary and understanding all of the little units that each word has in order to understand the meaning in context. So, what is the relationship between discourse analysis and morphology? Discourse analysis is how people make meaning from context. And the only way to make meaning from context is to use words. So therefore, by understanding all the units of words, all the little parts that form each word, you will be better understanding discourse in written, in spoken, in any kind of speech. So that is the relationship between one and the other. These are all the references that I used for this investigation. Thank you very much for watching this video. I hope that you understand how morphology relates to discourse analysis. And if you have any comments, please write them down below in the comment section. I would love to read them. Thank you very much.